guys? I'm with Jessi from Miss Cherry's channel.
It's me.
And my mom Terry. We are doing a this or that Disneyland versus Disney World tag.
Yes.
We kind of created a lot of it ourselves, but where'd you get the original?
Enchanted Rita did it originally with, I believe, Sherry Elizabeth, but a lot of the questions didn't have ones that we had all done before, so we had to do some modifications so it was like applicable and we could actually answer the questions. So we changed a lot of them.
Yeah.
But
so if you see other tags like that, our questions aren't going to be the same.
Yeah.
Some of them will be, but some of them we haven't ridden the rides that they asked for, so it wasn't really fair to judge the two or to choose our favorites.
Yeah.
So we have several questions that we are going to answer. We have these neat little things. So one side, the black side is Disneyland. And
they're spirit jerseys.
And they are spirit jerseys. And then the pink side is Disney World. So when we read the question, whoever, whatever our choice, Disneyland, Disney World, then we'll just flip it so we can show which we prefer.
Okay.
This or that. So,
do you want me to read or do you want to read?
You can read, that's fine. We'll just get started and enjoy, I guess.
Question number 1. I did not number these, so this is not going to go well, okay? So we're just going to throw numbers out the window. We're just going to read down the list, okay? Number 1, though, for sure, this is number 1.
For sure.
Radiator Springs Racers or Test Track at Epcot? No question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radiator Springs is the best.
And the theming.
Theming is everything.
Yeah.
It's nice and cool and all that to be able to like make your own car and see how well it does versus all the others, but
yeah,
the car's theming is everything.
It is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that was very easy.
Yes,
answer.
Yes.
Next question. Fantasmic, Disneyland or Disney World?
I think I'm gonna go with this one.
Oh my gosh, did we all say Disneyland?
Oh yeah, I think we did.
Pirates though? Like the whole, for me, the whole reason I chose it was because
the pirate ship.
The pirate ship is so epic.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I would like them to take the Disneyland version and plop it down in Florida because there's just the theater. The theater is built just for Fantasmic.
Yeah.
So it's easier to sit and find places and, it holds a larger crowd.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the pirate ship and just that whole thing, and also the fact that Sorcerer Mickey is in it throughout the whole thing, and the music, they sort of made it electric dance music, or like sort of dubstepped it a little bit, and it just made it so much
like enhanced
catchier.
it.
Yeah.
And it made it flow. Maybe it had a cadence to it, or like it made it flow a little bit better than what was in World. Yeah.
So, if I could find Disneyland's version on like CD or something, I would buy it. And I've looked for it and I can't find it because they just don't have it, because I think the music just changed not too long ago, so they're getting out of like putting things on CDs because CDs are old media now, so
We're old.
yeah.
Okay, next question. Soren, Disneyland or Disney World? That's hard.
It really
Yeah.
is.
That one's hard.
If you're going for theming, Disneyland. Going for the ride,
I like to do this.
wherever it lands.
I have a conflict with this. I love the building that Soren is in Walt Disney World. I
Yes.
love that whole land pavilion area. I think it's so pretty and so Disney-like. Like when I think of Epcot, I think of that building for some reason. But Disneyland has really amazing theming in the queue that's so different than Disney World. And I always appreciate theming.
Yeah.
So maybe
It's almost one of these.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It really is
I don't know
hard.
if I can decide.
The other
Because the ride's
aspect-
exactly the same.
It is
Yes.
exactly the same.
Except
the
one
queue
ends in
line.
Disney World, one ends in Disneyland.
I'm gonna have to throw it over to Disney World just a little bit more, and I'm gonna go that route mostly because we went to California and it was during a hot spell, and California just doesn't cater to the air conditioning crowd, and Florida does. So when you go into the land, you're in air conditioning, so you can cool down and get out of the heat, kind of thing.
Right.
And California just didn't.
Right. Because California or
Yeah.
Anaheim usually has really nice weather and doesn't need the air conditioning. And then when we were there, they were going through a heat spell, and there was just nothing to accommodate.
You couldn't get out of the heat anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
There was very little shade, very little air conditioning, because they don't usually need it. And then when they did,
They
it
didn't
was
have it.
Yeah.
not to be found. So it was
Yeah,
really
that's
hot
fair.
to stand in the queue line.
But when I think of Soarin', I think of only Walt Disney World. I like almost forget that it's in Disneyland for some reason.
I do
so
that too, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if that's the case, I would probably throw it to
Yeah.
Disney World.
Okay. I think we've decided.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next question. The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Land or world?
Land.
Land, no question. The Heffalumps and Woozles scene is so vibrant and so different, and the one at Walt Disney World I think is just such dull colors and just not impressive at all.
Well, and I think also the one in Disney World, I feel like you fly through it. You go so fast, and the ride in Disneyland, I feel like it, not only is it more vibrant, but you slow down a little bit, so you get to enjoy the ride rather than fly through and you're like, wait, was that? Okay. Whoa, okay. And then the ride's done, and so Disneyland I felt like was a bit slower, not quite sedate because they're trying to push you through, but it was, you actually got to take it in a little bit better.
Yeah.
So the ride felt longer when it probably wasn't.
Right. Okay. It was decided. Disneyland. Next, Downtown Disney or Disney Springs. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
No question. Disney Springs.
Yeah.
There's just so much more variety. So many more food options. So many more everything.
Blaze Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Blaze. Yeah. They have Blaze outside of Disney property in Disneyland. Yeah. Also, they have a Sanuk store. Oh, I think they have that in Disney. No.
They have it because
They haven't.
I
She
had
bought
to. That's
shoes
where I
and
got my
that's
shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney Springs is so much more enjoyable. It's more of a destination. Disney Springs is more of a destination
Yeah.
than Downtown Disney is,
And
I think.
it holds crowds better.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Yeah.
so squashed together.
Yeah, I feel like Downtown Disney is like almost like an alleyway kind of deal. It's just shops on either side, and you got one pathway to go
It's
down.
like a strip mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, like a strip mall, and then
And there was so much scrims and
Yeah.
construction in there that was really funneling us oddly. And,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, no shade, no cover, no anything, so you're just out in complete sunlight, and it was hard to shop. You wanted to duck into shops because it was supposed to be cooler in there, but then you didn't want to go into those shops. Those shops weren't interconnected, so it was tough trying to shop. And then you're just like, let's not go down here because it's hot. So it was tough at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next, Red Rose Tavern or Be Our Guest?
I know. It's tough.
No pressure.
No pressure. I've been there twice. If I was to judge it on the first time, it would be Red Rose Tavern. If it was going to be on the second time, which was not a good experience, it'd be Our Guest. I think I'm going to have to go with Disney World just because you can meet Beast
Oh.
for dinner at Be Our Guest.
Yeah.
And I think that pushes it because you can't meet Beast otherwise.
Gray stuff.
The gray stuff.
That's all I have to say.
No, for sure. Like if I was to base it just on the gray stuff, it would 100% be this.
Also, can we talk about the poutine too? The poutine that's flippin' amazing.
Yeah.
It is so good. I love that. That's my favorite quick service restaurant in all of Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can get the poutine at Le Cellier, right? In Canada?
It's different. Their poutine's way fancier.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah. But Disneyland for me. 100%. I love it.
I think I'm gonna, just because of Beast.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Pirates of the Caribbean, Disneyland or Disney World? Duh. No question.
Yeah.
Hands down the best.
It was so good.
I wish the Disneyland version was at Disney World.
All of those different rooms are just so intricate.
Yeah.
And it really, like, I feel like Disneyland ruins Disney World.
Yes.
The ride.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like Disney World's version, I don't know, like, catered to Hollywood.
It's a short and condensed. It's like they tried to do everything that and emulate California, but didn't accomplish it right.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's mostly based on the movie. Like, all the front scenes that Disneyland has, Disney World doesn't have at all. It's only the movie stuff. So Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie scenes are in the Disney World version, and then that's it. There's no, like, there's none of the original, or very little of the original pirate ride left at Disney World. And I think that's sad, because it's the original one that's the coolest.
Yeah. It also has a better drop, too. If we're talking about, like, rides. I
Yeah.
feel like the drops are better at
Right.
Disneyland than Disney World.
And the fact it's got two awesome drops rather than one, yeah, I mean, hands down.
Yeah.
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Yep. Next question. Plaza Inn or Ohana Breakfast?
Oh.
Plaza.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the food at Plaza, but once again, we were there hot. They seated us outside. We were under umbrellas, and every 5 minutes it was like we were jumping tables trying to find shade. So that was not cool. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Puns.
Well, I'm basing on the fact that I felt so absolutely rushed at Ohana that we felt like we had to inhale the food. We didn't even get our food, like, we got it, but we hadn't even eaten, and we had met all four of the characters.
See, I actually thought the food at Ohana was better than Plaza Inn.
Yeah.
I thought the food, I
Yeah.
would have said, I thought the overall experience at Plaza Inn was better.
I think the character meets were better at Plaza Inn than they were at
There was
Ohana.
more characters at Plaza Inn.
More characters, and I spent so much time with Captain Hook, so much time with all these characters, where I felt that we couldn't do that at Ohana.
The space at Ohana was kind of cramped, so they kind of just leaned over you where he was sitting at the table rather than get up and be able to spend the time with the characters.
Right.
Like we did at Plaza.
And what's your choice?
I like both. There's aspects of both that I like. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do this again.
Okay. You guys will have to let us know down below. So there's been a lot of like mixed reviews about Ohana. So let us know how you guys felt if you've had the Ohana breakfast experience. Because I've heard that dinner is like way, way better.
Right.
But there's no characters at dinner.
Right.
So I would be interested to try. It's an amazing and beautiful restaurant. The food is delicious.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see what people have to say about it.
Yeah, I've heard dinner was great, especially if you can get it near the fireworks and get a window seat. Then you can see the fireworks from dinner. But I've also been told that they've had the same experience for breakfast as we did.
It's unfortunate because there's a lot of hype around it, and I had expected a lot from it too, which could possibly be a problem.
Yeah.
Because when you have expectations, you often get let down.
Right. I mean, the food was good. It was just... It was so rushed. Yeah.
It was so rushed.
I mean, all four characters had gotten to us before we could even load our food onto our plates.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of cold by the time we got to eating. And then by the time the characters were out, they were coming and asking if we needed anything else and was trying to kind of rush us off.
Yeah, trying to they picked up our drinks at one point. We were like, okay.
Yeah, and we hadn't even started eating yet, and it was just like, we just started eating and you're wanting us to leave already.
Yeah.
So it was just a really rushed experience. But we were kind of at a high time for breakfast, so
Yeah.
it might be timing, it might be the day. It could be a multitude of different things.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Small World, Disneyland or Disney World?
Oh, me again. Okay, I'll go with that one.
Ariel though.
Yeah, see, I think Disneyland is because the facade is amazing.
Yes.
And because they incorporate the characters in their homelands.
Yes.
In the ride. And I think that's
100%.
amazing. They need to do that for all the characters, not just some of the characters.
Agreed. Like in Tokyo, they have Hercules, and that was so
Yes.
cool. But the thing I like about Disneyland's version too is there's a nice little boat ride outside in front of the facade, and in front of the facade they have all of those animals that are in the different hedges. You know what I mean? The shrubberies. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
Anyway, all the
Topiaries.
the topiaries, and I think that's such a cool touch. And you get to take a little ride around them, and then go in, and their clock show when it's like every 30 minutes or maybe it's every 15. I'm not 100% sure. Do you know?
I think it's every 30. It didn't seem like it was
Didn't
every
Okay.
15,
but
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Like the cuckoo clock opens and then all the people from all the different countries come out and go around, and there's like little anyway,
Yeah, they sort of
it's
dance
so
around
neat.
the clock and then they all go back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boat ride outside is fun as long as it's not.
I was gonna say,
Burn
that's
your face
probably
off
my
hot.
biggest thing about Disneyland versus Disney World. Disney World is at least undercover so the sun's not beating down on you.
Right. Right.
If it's a long queue line at Disneyland, you're outside in direct sunlight, and that queue line can be quite tedious after a while, and the sun is just beating down on you.
Yeah.
So you get so hot by the time you get out of the boat ride and get in to the ride proper, you're so hot that even if there's air conditioning, it doesn't really cool you down that much.
We just had the unfortunate experience to be there during a warm spell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't typical weather for them, so it was just really hot.
Telly's here.
Unwillingly, I might add.
But no, she looks comfy now.
You doing okay?
I mean, you're giving me a look, so I don't know.
She's purring.
All right.
Okay. Disney pin trading is the next one. Oh, that is so easy.
It doesnn't even
Oh,
exist.
sorry. Right in front of your face. I'm sorry. What? I can't see myself in the viewfinder, so I have no idea if I'm in frame.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, good.
It doesn't even exist at Disneyland.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
And Disney World, it's like everyone's so into it, and the cast members are like so fun to interact with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they'll go the extra mile. Like, if they know that you're looking for a specific pin and they've seen that pin and they know where it is, they'll help you find it. They'll take you to it.
Oh, yeah.
And help you trade for it. They go that extra mile.
Like, remember when we were at D-Tech? Was it D-Tech? It was one of those small shops in Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And it was when we first started pin trading. And the guy was like, well, what do you collect? And he, what maybe wasn't supposed to do it, but it was definitely a magical moment where he like took out all of his traders and was like, okay, let's see what we can find. And this is what you look for. And he like totally showed us the ropes. That was so amazing.
Yeah. And then he goes, what's going to be easier for you is instead of going, we want to trade pins, is you need to know what kind of pins you want. You know, are you wanting pirate pins, Mickey pins, Pluto pins? Like, go to certain collections and ask specifically for those pins, and then those people are going to know whether they have those pins or not.
Right.
Rather than just generalize, I want to trade a pin. So he gave us a lot of really good pointers for those.
That was a really magical moment. That was like our first trip together. That was really cool.
Yeah. And pin trading just doesn't even exist at Disneyland. You get like the random people who will carry them, and then they seem surprised when you ask to trade pins with them.
Yeah.
So.
And there's no pin boards. Like pin boards almost don't exist. Yeah.
So.
Next question. The Tiki Room. Oh, I'm gonna go in the middle. I feel like this at this point. I don't think I can choose.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with the Tiki Room because it's not my favorite. Like,
Hi, Telly.
I go on it because you love it so much.
I know. Yeah, I love it.
So I'm kind
It's
of
Walt to me.
yeah.
That's
I'm either way with it because
Yeah, it's really similar to me too.
yeah, I don't mind it. Doesn't Disneyland have the Stitch takeover? Or no, that was
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
You were just telling me about it.
So I waver back and forth. Walt Disney World, I think, has a better theater.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger. It's more spacious. It's a little bit better lit. But Disneyland, Walt created it. Walt was there. It was his
Right.
brainchild.
Right.
So the history there like pulls at my heartstrings a little bit more and like makes me want to be inside of the theater that he was in.
Yeah.
So I think that that's why it's hard for me to choose. I love it. I think it's such a great thing. My grandma, it's her favorite song. It's her ringtone. It's like, it has a special place in my heart in a lot of ways. So I just love it.
Yeah.
In both places.
Right.
And the good news is like the show is virtually almost exactly the same outside of like the theater and the queuing.
Right.
And so.
Yeah, and I think I'm on the fence with it because I go on it because you like it so
Yeah.
much.
Thanks for doing that. Sorry. Okay. This one's hard. Cinderella Castle or Sleeping Beauty Castle?
Really?
Yeah.
When I go down Main Street and I see Cinderella's castle, I get goosebumps and I try not to cry like a baby.
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty's castle is gorgeous and I love it, and Sleeping Beauty is not my favorite movie, but Prince Philip's is my favorite prince, so I have an attachment to that castle because of it. But when I go down Main Street and I see Sleeping Beauty's castle, it doesn't impact me like Cinderella's castle does.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's just, I mean, size. When you're walking down Main Street and the castle is large at the
Yes.
end of Main Street.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all the feels. Whereas Sleeping Beauty's castle at the end of Main Street just kind of underwhelms.
Yeah.
Although it's really cool that you can go inside
Yeah, I love that part.
that part of the
Yeah.
castle, but you can't do that in
Yeah.
Florida. But
Yeah. I chose Sleeping Beauty. It's the first castle I ever saw. That was the first park I ever went to when I was like 5 years old. So that's my first memory of like real Disneyland or Disney parks in general, was seeing Sleeping Beauty Castle. Now, I get more emotional when I go to Disney World, but this has a more special place in my heart because of that experience that I had when I was a little girl.
Right.
If we were just going off of looks or off of like impact when you go into the park, I would definitely choose Cinderella's castle. But for sentimental value, I feel like Sleeping Beauty Castle is why I have to choose that.
Well, and I think in Sleeping Beauty, or Cinderella's castle is the first one that I saw. So that one would also be the same, because that's the first park that I was
Right.
at. So
Yeah.
that would be another reason to choose it. I try not to cry every time I look at it, because that first glimpse when you'll have to let me know if you go down Main Street, that first glimpse of the castle, like, do you have goosebumps and try not to cry? It's a very powerful.
It is.
It's crazy how powerful it is.
It is.
You turn the corner and then you just it's there and it's gorgeous, and it's almost like you're home, and it kills me every time. Like, it is.
it's so iconic Disney that as soon as you turn the corner and see it, you're just like, you're here. You're really, really, truly here.
Yeah. So I was at, I don't know if you want to cut this out, but I was at the bead store the other day, and this lady was talking to me like, what are you making? And I was telling her about the King Triton crown that I was making. And she goes, you know what I love about Disney and why I feel like it's so magical? And she goes, you're completely safe there. And she goes, you don't have to think about anything. There's never anything out of place. It's never dirty. Everyone is so helpful. And it's like, you will never find a place ever out in the outside world where you're not catered to like you are there. And it never occurred to me that like the cleanliness, all of these little tiny aspects that sometimes I take for granted when I go to the parks because I'm so used to it. She was like, yeah, you're safe. You can play. You can be joyous. You can revert back to where you were. Right. And it was just like, really cool to hear it from another perspective because it made me feel like I take advantage of that a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
It was really
and that's
cool
kind
though.
of why, like, I think of that, and I guess it's because, like, I carry a knife on me all the time. And I can't carry a knife in the parks, but I don't feel the lack because I don't feel like I need to be, like, conscious of I'm conscious of my surroundings, but I don't have to be hyper aware all the time. At least not for safety, other than I don't want to run a kid over or be ran over by a scooter or a stroller. Right. But I'm not so crazy, like, aware because someone's going to steal from me or someone's going to attack me. Like, I don't feel like I need to have a weapon on me to be protected. Yeah. So I could see how that would be. There's magic in the park. And it
is the way it is for a reason.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Next question. Peter Pan's flight.
Yeah. It's kind of the same with Pooh. The dark rides.
Disneyland does dark rides so well.
Yeah. The dark rides just
no question
are phenomenal. They're more vivid. They slow down a little bit more. Again, like, you wait an hour to get on Peter Pan's flight, and then it's pss, 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 you're off. Like, you're off the ride. You're done.
I love that she makes that noise because that's what the ride sounds like.
It's literally what it sounds like. That's what it is.
You're so right. It's so
that
funny.
Pressurized, like, air sound, and then you're off, and you're just like, wait, that was it? Like, what happened? And then it's like, you're off to you're off. Wait, we didn't get to Neverland. Oh.
Yeah. It's fast. It's so fast.
It doesn't slow down at all, and then you feel like you wasted that hour in the queue line, which isn't even all that great of a queue line, to be on a ride that was 30 seconds. And like we said in your video, like, the best part is the cast member that comes by, and they, like, wave their hand over the thing, and they snap, and then the bar closes down, and then off.
And then you clap.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay, magic.
And then by the time you're done clapping, you're off the ride. And you're like, how did this happen?
Right? Yeah. Like, you're just like, bye, Nana. Oh, wait. What? We're back? Okay. Hi, Nana. Like, yeah. So, it's just, Disneyland's version's more vivid. I feel like they have more scenes, or at least different scenes.
The Big Ben scene is so much more spectacular in Disneyland.
Right.
So much more.
And just everything seems different, even though it's probably not. And then again, stuff is slowed down enough that the ride seems so much longer, even though it probably isn't. Yeah. So I just think they do a better job overall for the dark rides.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The final question. Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Yeah. I think it's gonna go sentimental, and there's just more to do in Disney World. Disney World is the first park I ever went to. There's more to do there. It's got Epcot and Magic Kingdom, which are my two favorite parks. Like, if I was going to go proximity and ease of access, then Disneyland is awesome because they're just 500 feet from each other. Right. And it's so much easier.
Honestly, I think it's the experience at Florida, because we call it the Disney bubble. And you literally start it from the moment you get off the plane in Orlando, because you get on the Magic Express and you get driven to your resort. You don't even have to touch your luggage until you get to the resort. Yeah. Once you get to the resort, then they bring the luggage to you. So that's transportation you don't have to worry about, that you have to worry about at Anaheim from whatever airport you fly into. And then you have to either take a bus or a taxi or walk to the park in California. And California streets are scary. You've got all the transportation is included in Florida. You just feel safe and then you never leave the Disney bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
You're
I agree.
always there.
Yeah. And the bubble might exist in Disneyland if you stay on resort, but you definitely pay for the privilege.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like for me, Disneyland is my quick Disney fix. Logistically, it's easier.
Right.
Money-wise, it's easier. I can get a vacation package from Disneyland for a lot cheaper than I can for Disney World.
Right.
But I answered Disney World because it's a state of mind. It's exactly that Disney bubble. That I know I'm going to Florida. I know I don't have to worry about a thing. The time that I set foot on the plane in Anchorage, I'm on vacation, and it's a vacation that I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about a rental car. I don't have to worry about a hotel. I don't have to worry about anything at all. I can literally just go to a cast number and scan my magic band and be taken care of the whole time. It's like the true resort living experience.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I would like to do Disneyland and stay on property. Like truly stay on property and see how that is. But I still don't think they bus you from the airport to the resort. You still have to get there.
Yeah, you still have to get there.
So it would still cost you an Uber ride from the hotel. So you're still not in the bubble until you get to the hotel. So it's still not the same, but at least you would be in the bubble once you got to the hotel. In Disneyland, when we were there, we weren't in the bubble at all until we were in the park.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we got out of the park, we were out of the bubble.
Yeah.
In Disney World, you literally never leave the bubble until you go home.
Well, in Disneyland, too, I think that a lot of people think that they have to fly into LAX, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
Fly into Santa Ana. It's literally a 20-minute Uber to get to the parks.
Yeah.
That's the way to go, because I used to fly into LAX all the time, and that airport is horrendous. It's always under construction. It's always busy. It's always just a complete mess. And that, for me, relieved a lot of travel stress by going to Santa Ana and knowing it's a smaller airport. It's called John Wayne Airport, but it's a smaller airport.
Yeah.
A little bit less stressful than my previous Disneyland experiences, because I did go to LAX for years before I went to Santa Ana.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah.
That helps if you're choosing Disneyland. I think that helps keep your stress level down.
Yeah.
Because I know travel stress is a real thing.
Yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think overall, Disney World for just the bubble alone,
Yeah.
is worth it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you'll have to let us know, Disneyland or Disney World.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And those are tough questions.
and why? Like that's a big one. Yeah, it's hard because both parks are wonderful in their own way. Because Disneyland alone is special just because it's Walt's park.
Yes.
Walt built it. That alone is amazing.
Go on the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So, I mean,
That is amazing.
yeah, and
and
I want to do that
inspirational.
one day. So there's a lot of good things and a lot of bad things with each park. So which one would you choose and why? But yeah, I think we just did another video on Jessi's channel. So it was a sisters tag, and I'll put that in the link below.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
That's all I gotta say.
If you watch it, you'll see it. I'll put her links and stuff down below. All I can say is just she absolutely failed.
I should have lost the whole game at that point. I should have got negative points for
Right.
that.
So terrible. It was hilarious, but it was terrible
No
at the same
excuse.
time. But yeah,
Oh my
so,
gosh, look how tiny I look. I don't look tiny, but I'm short, much shorter than you.
actually, yeah. Oh my gosh,
My
I'm taller this
my
time.
chair is like 4 inches shorter
I
than
did not
Mickey's
notice.
chair.
She's like 6 foot, and I'm 5'6".
I'm like 5'10"-ish.
10-ish.
Yeah.
I'm way shorter than she is, so me sitting like way taller than her makes me feel quite nice right now.
Woohoo!
So, but yeah, let me know in the comments below, Disneyland or Disney World. Check out Jessi's channel.
I'm sorry, we just went into a really weird place there for a second.
It's fine. This is what happens when we're together. This is totally normal.
We're in Alaska, by the way, guys.
We are. And she's right. This is what happens.
This
when
is
they're
so very
together.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom and I flew up here to visit Jessi for the long
Yeah.
weekend. Like This is day 4 out of 5. We leave tomorrow, sadly.
No,
Or no,
Monday.
Monday.
Leave on Monday.
Tomorrow's our last full day here.
Tomorrow's the last day, yes, and then we fly out on Monday.
We've been vacationing as hard as we can in Alaska, and we're a little punch drunk.
A little
We
bit.
vacation
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I mean, what time is it right now? It's like 10. Oh, it's almost 11.
Oh my gosh.
Whoops. Yeah, so good times.
Good times.
Yeah,
We did it.
It's good. So, yeah, I think that's it. So just be sure to like the video,
Like it.
subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.